Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. I've got a very exciting one for you here today. We have in the bottom left Effort, a Zerg who at any time might end up winning an ASL. Doesn't take him long to get into very good shape. Absolutely love watching his play. And he's going up against Paralyze here in the top left. Paralyze is, in my opinion, the best up-and-coming Protoss player at the moment. I know a lot of people say it's Motive, and I could understand that being the assessment as well, but I just love Paralyze's play. And I do think that he's basically just going to be a regular from here on out in ASL. We'll see about that. You know, you never know, right? It took a little while for certain players to get in and stay in. Well, I guess even with Scan, we're still waiting to see, is he going to stay in? I really think he is. Scan's really hitting a different level right now, but Paralyze is kind of right on the heels of some of these other players. Yeah, so I thought that this would be a really fun one. Effort is generally a very aggressive Zerg, and, Paralyze, like, when I think of what he's good at, he is very good defensively against Zerg, is the one thing that's really stuck out to me. Like, I don't know if I've seen him really lose to, like, 3-hatch Hydra type stuff. He's very, very solid defensively. Everything about his play is solid and strong and pretty modern as well. So I think he's actually a pretty good matchup against Effort. On the ladder, at least. I think in a tournament setting, Effort would probably rip him apart, but that type of improvement comes with time on Paralyze's side. All right, so there we go. We built it up. It's a gateway expansion against a pool first. And we're going to see Effort, of course, make his hatchery as well. And so while we wait for the first little engagements of this Zealot coming out, I want to thank you guys again for tuning into ArtosisCasts. Hope that you're enjoying the games. I've been loving the variety that we've been seeing. A lot of meta shifts going on right now. It feels like all over the place, which is always really, really refreshing. Yeah, it feels like the 2 Stargate Corsair stuff has fallen off from what it was at a few months ago. I have seen it still a little bit, but not like a huge amount anymore. It did feel like that was starting to become normal and people were really getting good at Corsair Micro, but it feels like it's gone back into like maybe more a heavy ground pressure. I feel like I've been seeing a little bit more often now. So just kind of an interesting thing, and we'll continue to keep an eye on the PVZs casted here and see if that continues or that changes or what it might be. All right, so just blocking the ramp, pretty standard stuff. Zealot going across the map, seeing what he can get done. Third hatchery is going up for Effort right over here. Another couple lings popping for Effort here in a second. 3 lings not going to be enough for this. Nice targeting, though, to get that probe right away. Good control from Paralyze. Ooh! Oh! I was completely certain that drone was dead. Oh my god. The turn. The turn to go up into the gas instead of over to the minerals. Save that drone just barely. Paralyze was microing so well. It looked so good. Okay. Zealot still wreaking havoc here. Really choosing great spots to fight. And you can see, like, his micro is super on point. Zerglings attack quicker, so if you hit and then run, it's always going to be better for the Zealot. Yeah, it's finally going to be surrounded, though. And down the Zealot will go. All right. Great pressure there from Paralyze. No Forge yet. He's going to make it in the main. Go ahead, make it. There it is. Cybernetics Core at the wall. Nexus finishes up. Quite a few lings coming out. Paralyze going to bring a couple Zealots over towards his third base, though. You know, Effort could go across the map, but he'd definitely be in trouble and end up losing this hatchery. So he's instead just going to have to fight these Zealots. And, well, it's Effort, man. He's an aggressive player, so it looks like he's decided, no, maybe not. Oh, he turns around. Maybe it was a little bit of a bait. I don't even know. A lot of back and forth here so far. Zergling speed is almost done. All right, finishes up. He's going to be able to get a very good surround now. Good split there from Paralyze. All right, catches this first Zealot really, really well. Second one, trying to make it out of there. Of course, the Overlord sees where it's going, so I think it'll be chased down. And he saw the hydralisk den. You know, this is just something that Paralyze seems to be good at, is figuring out when a hydralisk rush is coming and holding it off. Like I said at the beginning of this game, I don't feel like I've ever seen him lose to a 3-hatch Hydra build, which is like, you know, one of the builds that really makes the matchup volatile. It's like one of the oldest, strongest builds that exist in this game. To the point where in those crazy ZVZ matches, we even saw 3-hatch Hydra coming. It's like, yeah, no, it's just that strong. It can be used in multiple matchups. In fact, we've seen Terrans killed with it occasionally as well. Not nearly as good as against Protoss, though. That's for sure. Okay, so taking a look, 23 drones. Okay, so looks good. Now, 23 drones actually goes into a 4th hatch. Am I remembering correctly? 973, so 19 plus 3, 22. Yeah, 23 drones is normally a 9734. Those great Zerg players with their great naming techniques. Crazy Zerg, 973, 9734. So, like, the extra drone generally people use, and it'll end up making a hatch. But yeah, we'll see about that momentarily. Like, I mean, eventually you'll go into an additional hatch anyways off a 3-hatch Hydra. It's just, yeah, people have it balanced out really well as to what you need drone-wise, right? It's literally the 22 drones fuels exactly the 3-hatch Hydra. Okay, so more cannons coming up. Looks like a good defense so far. More Hydras rallying across the map. Oh, I think Paralyze has done this very well. Okay, so he comes up to attack the cannons. The Zealots start to come out. He already killed the eggs, so the Zealots could exit more cleanly. And that was a big part of that. If you're trying to get those Zealots out only through their effort, might actually end up breaking. But the fact that he had killed those eggs already really allowed the Zealots. So you had them come out here, here, and here. So it's literally twice as many Zealots able to exit the wall at once and put damage on the Hydras. In the meantime, more Hydras are being made. There's that additional macro hatchery, and here's even another one going up. He has droned up further as well. Knocks down that cybernetic scorch is a bit annoying, but already the additional tech has started, so not a big deal. He will need to get it back eventually just to get into that Dragoon range if the game goes so long. Also, might be worth considering if a layer gets started here to go into a Dark Archon for Maelstrom at some point. I'm actually very interested to see if Paralyze will do that, because Paralyze is one of these very modern players that kind of follow the meta trends. Most of the new good players are like that. There's a few that are not. Like if you look at Speed, for instance, Speed kind of does his own thing. He doesn't just follow the trend. Whereas you look at like Ruin, I've always mentioned, always on top of trends. Paralyze, generally on top of trends. Motive, generally on top of trends. Scan, always on top of trends, right? So I wonder if he thinks the Dark Archon is something that should be added in, because we really only see Best doing it regularly, but it always feels like it's good. Every time I see a Dark Archon, I'm like, this was a good idea. So we'll see. Layer has been started. +1 attack for Hydras on the way. Overlord coming up to scout everything. High Templars coming out to go with these Zealots that do have +1 in legs already. Storm is being upgraded, as well as that +1 armor. Additional photon cannon being made as well, just staying safe. I'm almost holding my breath here to see. Are we even going to have a Spire? No, he goes directly into Lurker. Okay, okay. Not something we see as often. Paralyzed, trying to break out. And that is a lot of Hydras. He actually gets dealt with really quickly through pure Hydra. Now, if there was like a Mutalisk tech transition coming in, that might not have worked as well. And a lot of aggressive Zerg players like to go 3-hatch Hydra into Spire. It just kind of makes a difficult position. We've seen Best crushing that, but not a lot of other Protosses feel like they crush that. Effort here is skipping that. Now, I wonder, right? Like, could this be a meta shift? I'm not entirely sure. I don't get to see as many Zerg versus Protoss games as I do just any Terran matchup. Obviously, as a Terran player, like my free time, I spend a lot of it watching Terran games as opposed to PVZs, although I do watch some. But I wonder if there might be a trend from 3-Hatch Hydra to go into Heavy Hydra plus Lurker, right? Because the mutas kind of stress out Protoss because you need to have a lot of anti-air for that. But it's expensive and difficult to get into your Robo as well as Observers after the 3-Hatch Hydra bus as well. So maybe this is just a trend that's occurring right now. I'm not sure of that, but the Lurkers are being morphed right now. Paralyze is going to try to get out here, and this is perfect timing because there's not enough Hydras to stop these, and that's going to stop these Lurkers from really being as effective as what Effort was hoping for. Effort was hoping to just make a containment here out of this thin choke to have a nice little concave, I guess you can say. Try to contain that and make it very difficult for him to get out, but not going to end up working. Putting some pressure onto that 4th hatchery of the couple zealots. In the meantime, look at this double-pronged attack. An engagement up here. Great egg there, by the way, on the hurt Hydra, and you can see Effort doing that multiple times all over the place. The zealots having a very difficult time. It seems like Effort's macro is just a little bit too good here for Paralyze. All right, I don't believe we have an observer yet, so he is going to have to pull back for a moment. A little bit annoying. This is not a full containment. It's kind of interesting that he's keeping back this entire army with a single Lurker right now, but I guess you have to. Now, a single High Templar in a shuttle coming down for a Psystorm drop in the natural. Seems like Effort's just safe everywhere, the more I'm looking at this. Well, that being said... Oh, wow. 50 health left. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay, he ends up getting it, but loses like 5... Well, he loses exactly 4 more Zealots than he needed to. He could have blocked that. Or he could have killed that if he had sent 1 more up additionally at the beginning. So unfortunate there. Loses some extra units. Effort supply getting pretty out of control here. 110 against 117 is always going to look good for Zerg. He has a fair amount of High Templars. He has been going back and forth with the shuttle quite a bit, but we don't see him actually committing to a Psystorm drop there. Maybe just threatening it a little bit. More Lurkers being made. Tons of drones. Tons of drones. Oh my god. Is this the new style? Just super heavy drone saturation everywhere? I like this zone defense, by the way. Heavy Dragoon, heavy High Templar. This is the way to fight against Hydra Lurker. You have those storms if they actually start to engage, and the Dragoons will put out consistent damage as opposed to Zealots, where you're kind of running back and forth and trying to decide what to do in each engagement differently. All right, Paralyze is coming out now. My gut tells me there's enough units here for Effort, but if Paralyze hits and Effort's a little bit out of position and then comes in a funnel and gets stormed, I feel like that can change. The Lurker spread is really good. You can tell they're all about a storm length apart, so they're, you know, the storm's not going to be as useful, but there's so many Dragoons that he absolutely can pick off those Lurkers. The Lurkers can get punished very, very quickly indeed. All right, Paralyze getting that 3rd base up and mining. I like that he's left a small group of units here. You can't really counterattack his 3rd. The rest is roaming and trying to punish the group that Effort has on the map. Effort, by the way, on about 60 drones does have 4 bases. He's getting a Queen's Nest right now, so getting ready for that hive. It's going to be a great counter to those Dragoons eventually. And here we go. This is Effort trying to counterattack while he knows a big chunk of the army is in the top right. And Paralyze is winning that attack in the top right. Of course, he's going to be able to kill that army off easily. And in fact, he's going to be able to hold this without problem. Like, he's got 2 photon cannons here. You can't come over this ramp against the Mass Dragoon. And he's got Psystorm as well. So Effort's not going to be able to bust his 3rd. You can see, like, look, I don't know who's going to win this game. Like, it absolutely could go both ways. But you can see the strength in Paralyze's play. Like, he is solid as a rock here. Just looking very strong, blocking everything. He knew that Effort would eventually attack out here. He had a group literally sitting here waiting for that attack, stomps the attack, kills the rest of the army up here, and suddenly he's got heavy map control, and he's got a big supply advantage. Now, it's very hard to attack turtle positions like this, but he does have Psystorm. Look at that. Very decent Psystorm there. Very excellent secondary Psystorm as those Hydras ran forward. Oh my god, the Storms and Dragoons are just really crushing everything here for effort. Who needs Zealots? Almost a little bit Rain-styled here in the mid-game. Not exactly. Rain is more of like he builds up to a timing attack. This was like opportunistic from Paralyze. Like I feel like he sat there and he reacted to everything effort was doing wonderfully until he had the advantage to be able to do a move like this. God, seriously, if you're not a Paralyze fan, I don't know what you're doing. Doesn't even matter what race you play. This guy is the real deal. Look at that. Just busts through absolutely everything. More units coming. He's setting up a fourth during this time. GG. That was a beautiful game from Paralyze. That was a beautiful game. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you're in love with Paralyze. We'll see you next time.